I lost my pen.
You can borrow mine.
Thanks.
I lost something once. I lost something I couldn't live without. My identity.
Punched me. I was hitting you. That's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
Such a baby!
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the out of there.
Yes.
This is a load of barnacles.
I have described Johnny, as many people have, as having cinematic brilliance or having a deep reservoir of emotional intelligence, which is what it takes to play the parts that he plays. But one of the things that Johnny has is a deep humanity.
I've never heard a bad word said about Johnny Depp.
Neither, actually.
Yeah, so how do you pull that off?
He is lovely. There's no bad side to the man. I've worked with him 3 times, and I've never seen him be anything but charming with everybody on set, from the person that cleans the trailer to the producers of the movie. He is generous with his time and giving of himself, and as an actor he is only interested in making the scene better.
You know, listen, the man that I know and love is the man who's here tonight and who's like on form and does everything the right way. And you know, people go through all kinds of weird stuff in the world, and it's just a shame that it has to be dragged out into the public, because God knows he's been one of the most private and stand-up people I've ever met. So
he's really a very unique human being, as you can see. We all know how talented he is, but he's so much more than that. He's one of the smartest people in this planet. He's so quick and so funny and clever, and he's very inspiring, and you feel very fortunate to be able to spend time with him. And as an actor, to be able to share scenes with him, it's a very big privilege. But just to be around him, just to spend time with him, and you can learn a lot from him, a lot.
Johnny walked over and went to shake my hand. He had these prosthetic fingers, and so he held his hand out and then kind of thought the better of it and held his elbow out instead. And I just thought, it just humanized him from the start.
As always with Johnny, it was really beautiful work.
No, he's fantastic. I love Johnny. I mean, really, he is the kindest, most gracious and warm, funny person to work with, really.
There is no such a favorite moment. Like, every moment is favorite, in the sense that you are in front of one of the most scary, nice, generous actors you can play with. When he became Sparrow, for me, was like a gift in front of my own eyes.
He's a little bit enchanting, not in a romantic way, but like there's something kind of like childlike and fascinating about him, and he has this fascination with the world and things around it. I mean, I think he's a very curious individual, and they're very mysterious, obviously.
He didn't just support us while we were in prison. He's been with us every single step of the way since we've gotten out. He's become like a brother to me.
Oh, he's the best, and unfortunately the media kind of picks on certain people, and it was his turn in the barrel, but he's a fabulous guy, a great artist.
He's a really sweet guy, and he's wonderful to work with,
He is one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life, and so sincere. And he seems almost like he doesn't want people to really know he's that nice.
Yeah,
almost.
but he is.
Goes against his bad boy image.
That's true. Yeah. But he's very sweet. He was talking about his child on the show, and his face
baby.
just lit up. It was so touching to see.
Yeah.
Magical. He is. He's a creature. He's like he's a real, true artist.
It was wonderful. He's a great guy, and he's a brilliant artist, and a very, very generous actor, and just extremely, extremely cool.
When you film Johnny Depp as like Princess Diana, there's like 4,000 people lined up to see this guy, and he would meticulously go down the row and sign everybody's autograph. And he was a real trooper in that. And it was kind of amazing, you know, to see that after a 12, 14-hour day, you know, he would do that.
Johnny's just a step ahead of everyone. And I think that's really what makes him so fantastic, is that he's a true artist, you know, and that he achieved the heights of the movie business on that is such a credit to his talent, you know, and his tenacity.
I suppose he's got that sort of unique combination of extreme warmth and generosity, and doesn't take himself very seriously, and is sort of, there's something inherently kind of accessible about him, as well as being utterly mysterious. It's that sort of contradiction that I think probably makes movie stars.
Johnny Depp's a gifted actor who has a fearless approach to his work, and is ambitious and wants to go to some strange, wonderful places, which makes him perfect for Grindelwald.
Always he's, you know, calm and gentle, even for the extras, so, you know, kind and warm. Yeah, he created great atmosphere on set.
Have you recovered from Johnny Depp chatting to you and giving you a bottle of champagne?
Do you know what? I don't think we ever will, to be honest.
Who talked to who first?
Well, my husband went, "All right, Johnny," when he sat down, and I was like, "No, Dave, you know, play it cool." And he was taking off his jacket and said, "Yeah, I've been running late. I left my passport behind. Excuse the accent, it's not the best." Yeah, and then it kind of just, we were throwing comments, you know, back and forth, and then he got champagne, and we said it's a really nice way to end our first anniversary, and then that topic came up, and we ended up cheersing. It was, the whole thing is just so surreal. He was so humble and kind, and just, he seemed interested in, you know, our life. It was almost like we were just talking to another passenger.
I have to tell you that I have never met anyone with a more bizarre sense of humor, nor have I ever met anyone any kinder and gentler than on a first, you know, just a first meeting than he was. When we were on set, anytime that we wrapped for the day and he was still there, even though my son Mark was there with me to help me with my coat and everything, because it was cold. It was in the fall, November and December, January. And he would always come over, make sure, you know, have you got your gloves on? You know, do you have everything, you know, that you need? Are you okay? And kiss me on the cheek and tell me, you know, bye, Mama, I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I would not have made the movie without Johnny Depp.
Why is that?
Well, because you know, he's my partner, and it's the part that he was born to play. I can't imagine anybody else doing it.
With Johnny, you know, I take my hat off to Johnny. He's just one of the great character actors who happens to be trapped in the body of a leading man. His absurd humor, his level of invention, there's no cliches in there. Like, he's created such an idiosyncratic, likable character, enviable character, because he just spins a compass and goes, I'll go there and see what happens. You know. Nice.
You know, there's a rule in the film business that whoever that #1 star is on the call sheet, the rest of us actors get to act or not act based on how that person's behavior is. So if that #1 star is a class person, everyone's got to kind of toe the line of being a class act. And that's Johnny's story.
How cool was it that he came and did that? Oh, it was fantastic.
So cool.
And let me tell you, when he started speaking, you could have heard a pin drop.
Wow.
There was this aura in the room. It was incredible. And suddenly we were all on, everyone was like, yeah, and it was just respect.
He's such a soulful and thoughtful and gentle-natured person.
He's hilarious. You know, he's fantastic to work with. I would say comedic genius.
No, he was the nicest young man. He was very polite. He
call people sir and ma'am.
It's always great to work with Johnny, just the adventure of making a movie with him. And what they really adventure is how he comes up with ideas, how he comes up with dialogue, how he changes scenes, how he makes us look really smart. But he's the one who does all the hard work and comes up with all the great ideas.
It's not like most people we know. There is something offbeat about him that is intriguing and ultimately attractive.
Incredible experience getting to work with that guy, and he's a character. He's amazing. He's every bit as cool as you don't think it's possible for him to be.
That just blew my mind, what you just said.
Very fun.
Very fun.
Very fun between takes. Really friendly, approachable. I mean, I know I was kind of geeked out to work with him, and I think he goes out of his way to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Yeah.
The whole set buzzed when he came on.
Yeah,
everyone was like, "That's Johnny's section." The driver was like, "Johnny's here. Johnny's just left." Is that how has he? Great.
He is a unicorn. We use that word.
He is a dear friend and he's a brother.
I was expecting the big movie star type, but no, he was very down to earth and very polite, which was lovely.
I was impressed by how much he just loves acting. He really worked as an actor first and foremost, and not as a star. And I was very impressed with that.
He's sort of perfect.
Johnny is, my experience with him was we were lucky that he was our star.
Yeah.
He's a classy dude, honestly. And there's a lot of negative bullshit about Johnny that I'm sure is like a rival PR campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't worked with him in a number of years now, but my experience was he was the nicest one ever to the fans, ever, of that magnitude. So he'll always have my respect, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
But he's a gentleman, and he's a professional.
He's a good kisser.
Let's admit it.
Johnny Depp comes out the trailer and he goes, "Hey, Shamir Anderson, heard a lot about you. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Happy to have you here." And then he gives me a hug. And at that moment is when I said, my life's complete.
He's a genius. He's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
It was so easy. He was just open arms and laughter, fun, but also, God, anything you talk to, he's really done his homework on this. And I know he's like very offhand and cool, but he really knows his onions.
And he was just this kind of bright-eyed guy, just very sweet, really sweet guy. He was very sensitive to the situation he was coming into.
See, Johnny is fabulous to work with. He's such a gentleman, and he's such a wonderful, creative, crazy, zany actor, and he's very respectful of the people he works with.
I'd love to. I've loved working with him. He's been an absolute inspiration to me and really fantastic to work with.
He spent 2 hours in the Children's Hospital going through the oncology ward, dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow, delighting the children. He's handing out gold coins, posing for selfies, having lots of hugs with the kids. They absolutely loved it.
I just can't believe that he came. When I when I was walking down the corridor, I kind of suspected that might be somebody famous because everybody is holding cameras and everything like that. And then he was just there near the elevators, and I was like, holy moly! I even got to give him a hug, and it was so good, like lots of hugs. He's like a giant teddy. He's funny, he's not very focused, but he's really fun to have around and makes you laugh and makes you feel good about yourself and stuff like that.
He is, more than anything, the loveliest, sweetest, and most fun co-star you could imagine.
I just think he's wonderful.
He is a creative force and an extraordinary man in so many ways, and so kind and so wonderful to work with, and generous beyond belief.
He's one of the most talented young actors, maybe the 2 or 3 most talented young actors of my lifetime.
And Johnny is one of the most caring, respectful people to all the other actors. One of the most that I've ever seen in my entire career. He's really generous